Welcome to all of my Facebookers. Hello, Facebookers. Hello for those of you on Spreaker and iHeartRadio. Those of you over at the Leadership TKO Station.com website and all other audio platforms out there, welcome and good evening. Welcome to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show with your host. That's right, your leadership specialist and wealth mentor, lakeisha-mcknight. Glad to be here tonight. I really, really am. It's Sunday, April the 5th of 2020, right here in Chesapeake, Virginia, where I am live, right? Isn't it amazing? Like, who would have ever thought that we would be where we are today, right? Most of us, in our homes, haven't been really restrained and restricted to our homes for many, many weeks now. Who would have ever thought that we will be in the position that we're in right now? But here's what I will tell you. It does open your eyes on a couple of things, and it helps you to come to understand more about who you are and where you want to go, like the value of life. It helps you to understand how valuable life is and how precious time is as well. And so it causes you to just reevaluate where you are in life today. And so for those of you, if you're not familiar with this show, first of all, I do encourage you to visit our website, which is leadershiptko.com. That's where you'll learn more information about this brand, about the company, the iLead company that houses the brand Leadership TKO. And so you're more than welcome to check it out at your leisure. You don't have to do it right now, but at your leisure, you're more than welcome to do so. And so over the last couple of weeks, months really, we've been really focusing in on the home-based business owners, entrepreneurs out there. And it really, really is becoming helpful nowadays for those who are interested in becoming home-based business owners. And so I'm going to share something with you that really is going to focus in on the topic tonight. Let me go ahead and share my screen really, really quick. And I'm probably going to share two screens, but I am going to do this one first, okay? Now, hopefully you can see it. It's real simple, nothing fancy smancy, right? It just says plan A and plan B. Because the big question that I have for many people today, especially for those who are really focused in on plan A is, how is that going right now? Okay, it was plan A really good enough? Most people, okay, the majority of the population focused in on plan A. And for most people, plan A was being employed, right? Having a job where you take on a position and a job description and a cap on a specific salary, whether it's hourly or if it's monthly or annually. You're given a certain cap as to the amount of income you're able to generate. For most people, that's plan A. And for the most part, that's what we're taught. Coming up as young people, you've probably heard this spiel before. We're taught to really go to school, right? Graduate from high school, with some good grades, go to college, get that degree. Now, here's the deal. Now, for example, I have done that. I went that route because that's what I was taught. I went to Penn State. Okay, of course, let me back up a bit. I got good grades in high school, right? Was taught, you got to try to get at the top of your class, and I actually did that. Valedictorian and all of the high school class, graduated, went to Penn State, got 2 degrees, not one, but 2 degrees from Penn State, right? Was like, okay, I'm good. No, I had to actually go get more. That wasn't good enough. I went to graduate school, got a master's degree. Was that good enough? Absolutely not. They said, you know what, you got to go get more education. You got to go get your doctorate's degree. Now, here's the deal, though, when it comes to a doctorate's degree. It's not necessarily the same. They say it's a terminal degree, but here's the deal. Unless you want to teach and do some other things, that's all you really can do with those terminal degrees, okay? And so I say terminal in the sense that you will be locked into paying debt for the rest of your life. It is terminal. It is a final degree because you're going to be paying debt, loans for the duration of your time. There are some people who are in political offices, governmental offices who are still or just recently paid off student loans. Okay? So was plan A good enough? Plan A for most people, again, being, that job route. And I'm going to show you another screen here that's going to share with you what this really looks like, okay? Robert Kiyosaki, he really coined this concept, right, of the cash flow quadrant. And you might have seen this a bazillion times, but it doesn't, it can help just looking at it again and reviewing. So I was just talking about being this employee, right? Where we were all taught to get this good job. And see, most people today, if you're not an essential worker, guess what? You don't have this. Or you might be fortunate enough to be able to work and actually have this employee, this plan A from home. And you might have just a few hours and maybe not even enough, because it's just the way that it is right now. There's a lot of restrictions. You can't go into the workplace. There's a lot of restrictions right now. And so you have a lot of limitation as to how many hours you can get, how much you can get paid. There's just a lot of limitations and little to no control over how much income you can make, about the time that you're able to utilize to spend time with family, and so much more. There's just a lot of limitations being employed. And even with me going back to school, for example, getting that master's degree, that would only put me here and many others around the world. Okay, it will put you here where you're self-employed. You're actually able to own a job. Okay, you own a job. So you don't have any leverage, okay, because your time is limited. It's limited to where you are at that moment. Okay, you can't be here, there, and everywhere. You only can be in one place at one time. Right? And you essentially are the system because you're the expert. You're the expert. And so this is where many people find themselves after they get tired of being an employee. They're like, well, I'm tired of that job. I'm tired of the boss bossing me around. So they're like, well, I'm going to be my own boss. So they create their own job. And that's what it means to be self-employed. But there's limitations to that. There's not a whole lot of time freedom at all. And if you have money, guess what? It's limited because, again, if you don't put in the time and do the work, you don't have that money coming in. It just stops. Okay? There's no system. You are the system. Okay? You essentially are the system, but there is a better way. And so if you were leaning and focusing in on plan A, which was being an employee or being self-employed, how is this working right now? It's not really working out for the majority of the population around the world. Being an employee, being self-employed just isn't good enough. It didn't meet the bar. It's not meeting what you need inside of your home. But there is a better way. Your plan B, that plan B that everyone has been talking about, can become your plan A. And for some people, they realize that plan B was plan A all along. And even for myself and my husband, and we realized plan B was always plan A from the very beginning. And that is, of course, on the right side of the quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki has coined. So you have being a business owner and being an investor on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. And so it's not difficult to make the transition, but here's what happens though. You first must begin to work on your mindset, because you cannot bring the mindset of an employee into the world of business. You are going to have to take some time and work on it. How you're thinking, your thought processes, because when you become a business owner, no one is going to tell you what you have to do and force you to do something. Okay? But here's the deal. If you don't do what is necessary, okay, to really get this system up and going, you're going to have some problems. All right? So here's the deal. You're in control. You're your own boss. You're the CEO of your own organization. And so it takes a whole nother way of thinking, and of course, a whole nother set of behavioral patterns that must be developed in order to be a business owner, and a great one at that. And it takes time. It's not overnight. Okay, it is not overnight. I remember when I first got into this model of network marketing, where I just thought that it would just come easy. And I realized that I had to put in some work in the sense of training my mind and getting into those habits that were necessary to really building a network. Okay, because that's what it really is all about. When you're getting into the B quadrant, you have to establish systems. Okay, and a part of the system is really creating a network. When I created a business from scratch, I had to realize and come to understanding that I had to have some systems in place. And so I created from scratch a system of resources and a system of people, whether it was volunteers, contractors, and the like. And so that's one style of business, but there is another style of business as well that many people are familiar with. And again, it's called the network marketing model of business. And so it's a bit different because it's there are less expenses, okay? And you can do it from wherever you are, from the comfort of your home or wherever your phone is or your laptop is. That's what network marketing affords people to be able to do. And it's so much better. And I'm so glad that God enabled my mind and my husband's mind to be open to this concept of network marketing. And so it fits right into that model of business ownership where you own a system. The beautiful thing about network marketing is that the system has already been created. All you need to do is plug yourself into it. That's it. And really become familiar with the system. Familiarize yourself with it and work on becoming a better version of yourself. Self-development every single day. And so I came into this industry, I want to say with a heads up or at least a jump start when I talk about being plugged into this amazing money system that I'm involved in. I had a little bit of a jump start, and I say this because I've had experience in network marketing and I was already focusing in on self-development, being a John Maxwell team partner. So I had a little bit of an edge, just a teeny bit, but it still took some time. Even plugging into the money system a little over 3 years ago with my husband, it took some time, but we kept going with it day by day. We worked it out. We plugged into the system. And so we're going to help you. For those of you who are like me and Lakeisha, I need to gain understanding about this whole network marketing model of business. I need to understand how you can begin to generate cash flow from home, and the money system would enable you to do that. All right. There are many people who take advantage of other opportunities, within network marketing. They have different products. But I tell you this, when it comes to business ownership, it's important that you assess what is the greatest need that people have today. When making a decision about a company to plug into, what is the product? Can you be passionate about the product? And is it a product that is in demand today? Is it a product that people can leverage and utilize today, right now? And most people, because of the limitation of cash flow, losing jobs and things of that nature, they're in need, and this may be the case for you, in need of cash flow, money. Now, when I say cash flow, it does include fiat currency. And again, that may be changing soon with all the changes going on economically around the world on a global scale. But you want, of course, and some people are going to need, we're all going to need fiat currency. Okay, that's going to enable us to get the things that we need. But at the same time, you also want to understand what real money is. Now, within the money system that I'm plugged into, you do get education about what real money is. You see, for a while, we've been taught that, and I'm not going to go into depth too much here, but we've been taught that this was money, when in actuality, if you look at the top of it, it says that it's a Federal Reserve note. Okay, that's different from money. Remember, money has to be a good store of value. And the fiat currency, or the dollar, for example, is not a great store of value because it's lost 98% of its value. All right, so it can't store value. It's lost value, 98% of it. So you can't depend on it. You can't save it. You can only spend it to do what's necessary with it. And so, again, you need that cash flow. And that's what being a business owner and being plugged into the network marketing model of business will afford you to be able to do. But choosing the best company with the right product that is in demand as of today. And so what is the biggest product? What is it that people need the most of today? Money, fiat. So you want to make sure that as you're watching this right now, you get with the person that shared this video with you, this audio stream with you. Let them know that you want more information about this money system that Lakeisha is talking about right now. Okay? And so within, also on the right side of the quadrant here, as you can see, you can also become an investor where, money works for you. Okay? It works for you. Now, when we're talking about being an investor, we're talking about assets that adds money and produces cash flow for you. Now, we do, there are companies out there that will enable you to do it, but here's the deal. I do know within the money system, you can both be a business owner and an investor simply because within this system, we get access to assets like gold. Now, gold is not an investment, it is an asset. There's no risk with gold, okay? There's no risk with gold. But when it comes to being an investor and being plugged into this, we do have cryptocurrency that is linked and backed by gold, right? And so there's little risk, I say, when it comes to the cryptocurrency that we do have. And so you can learn more about investments like cryptocurrency. You can learn more about assets like gold when you inquire, when you ask the person sharing this with you for more information. But I do know this, that plan A, being an employee, being self-employed, it's not working. It's not working, and it's not working today. Okay? You don't want to place the livelihood of your family and the future, your future, in the hands of a system that's broken. And that's what happened when you become an employee. And definitely when you're self-employed, because again, you can burn yourself out and not enjoy what you're working so hard for. So when you think about it, being a business owner, being an investor is the best way to go. For those of you who are looking for financial freedom and time freedom, these are the best routes to go. And so, again, gain control over the economy of your home, the cash flow in your home, be able to give your own self a raise when you want to give yourself a raise, when you are a business owner or an investor. I'm telling you, these are the best routes to take. And that's just based on my experience alone, as well as my husband's, of course, and perhaps even my mentors that I receive some great information from on a daily basis. And so speaking of mentors, okay, I'm going to stop this for a moment. Speaking of mentors, we have, of course, Mr. Michael Dalco. He's going to be doing some great training tonight on the money system and the compensation plan. Yes, a compensation plan, because we get paid in multiple ways. Yes, with the money system, there are multiple streams of income. I know you've heard about this. This is necessary. It's like required nowadays. Okay? So learn about getting multiple streams of income, the many ways that we get paid a part of this money system. Again, it's time. Have an open mind, learn about being a business owner, learn about being an investor. Okay? This is the education that you have not received from college or universities. And it's something that's necessary today. And so I just want to say thank you and also remind each and every one of you that you can get access to this training tonight. You can get plugged into the system for free, okay? And then you can plug into the training that we have going on tonight at goldrocks.info. And that's connected to the Zoom platform, by the way. So you have to download Zoom from your cloud, your store. So that's the Zoom Cloud Meetings app. And then you want to go to goldrocks.info so you can get plugged into this training that's starting in a few minutes, 9 o'clock. Now, I will tell you that training happens every Sunday, okay? Every Sunday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you don't want to miss this training. I'm telling you, there have been some great enhancements when it comes to the compensation. And so, hey, there's no better time than now. You are home, I'm home, majority of the population is home. Work from home or wherever you want to be after, of course, this whole restriction is lifted. You can work from anywhere, okay? And so I just want to say thank you so much for giving me your time, your attention. I appreciate it. Remember, we're going to come back with a fresh episode here with the Leadership TKO Live Night Show tomorrow night, somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30. You want to stay plugged in on Facebook so you'll know when I'm going to go live. As well, for those of you who are on the podcast platforms, definitely make sure you take note. And if you want to plug in with us on Facebook, you're more than welcome to do so. For those on the podcast platforms, here is my URL, really easy, facebook.com/L.McKnight Speaks. Okay, L. McKnight Speaks, just the way that it sounds. Brian McKnight's last name. Of course, I'm not related to Brian McKnight. Okay, but it's L. McKnight Speaks. That's how you can find me on Facebook. All right. Well, I am going to prepare for this training that's coming up. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And so remember, until the next time that you and I come together again, I encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone. God bless. And I'll catch you over at goldrocks.info.